Everyone, welcome to the show. So, the Oath Keepers trial was cut short last week because the group's leader, Stewart Rhodes, contracted COVID. Also, one of the defense attorneys had some sort of medical issue. But prior to the 6 days, it was revealed that Rhodes became increasingly frustrated by Trump's refusal to invoke the Insurrection Act. And after Georgia was called for Biden, Rhodes messaged his members and he said, quote, "Now it's nut cutting time." End quote. Does Trump have balls or not? We're about to find out. And on January 6th, Oath Keepers attorney Kelly Sorrell wrote, quote, "We are acting like the founding fathers. Can't stand down." She added, quote, "Per Stewart, and I concur." So Sorrell also mentioned that the storm had arrived. That's a QAnon reference regarding a day when Trump would purportedly round up and execute his enemies. The jury also saw messages describing Trump supporters hurling rocks and chunks of concrete at officers, as well as yelling threats at them. And then a message from defendant Thomas Caldwell was also shown. This is in regard to Vice President Mike Pence. It read, quote, "That punk ass had better do what he's supposed to do." One interesting revelation from last week was that approximately 15 minutes after the west side of the Capitol had been breached, Rhodes sent a message saying, quote, "Back door of the Capitol." That's all it said. Included in the encrypted messaging group that he sent that to was Proud Boys chairman Enrique Tarrio, Roger Stone, Stop the Steal organizer Ali Alexander, and Alex Jones. And then right after he sent that message, Rhodes called his co-defendant Kelly Meggs, and Meggs immediately led a group to the east side of the Capitol, to those doors. Another crucial piece of evidence was a December 10th text message. It was sent by Rhodes, and he said that if Trump didn't act, quote, "We will have to rise up in insurrection." And then he put in parentheses, "rebellion." So that's damning because his whole defense is, oh, we weren't planning on doing anything unless Trump told us to, unless Trump invoked the Insurrection Act. Then in another damning message to his members, Rhodes stated, quote, "They need to shit their fucking pants," and quote, "sic semper tyrannis," which means thus always to tyrants. And that was the phrase used, by the way, by Lincoln's assassin. So Rhodes was, of course, referring to the members of Congress, and it shows intent, not intent to commit sedition necessarily, but an intention to terrorize them, to terrorize lawmakers. And then Rhodes also basically threw his members under the Trump train by pointing out that he didn't enter the Capitol. He didn't order them to do so. They did this all on their own. So the trial picked up this week. Rhodes dialed in from isolation at the Alexandria City Jail because he's still under isolation. Officer Harry Dunn kicked off the week with testimony. He testified about the violence and the racism he experienced during the Capitol attack. Dunn also told the jury how he pleaded with the Oath Keepers and others, and he told them that officers were being taken out on stretchers and they just didn't care. And then Officer Dunn also said that the ironically named Oath Keepers did nothing to help law enforcement that day. And a video with subtitles showed this same officer blocking the doorway. And he said to this group, to the Oath Keepers, quote, "I'm not letting you come this way. You'll be finished in one fucking minute." And then proving how weak their defense is, Oath Keepers attorneys kept questioning him about why he cursed so much on the job, why he used profanities. If I was Dunn, I would have said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Seriously. Do you know what was going on that day? And then an Oath Keeper also testified yesterday. January 6th defendant, cooperating witness Graydon Young, told the jury that he provided security for Roger Stone. Young said that he was excited to meet Stone, but then he became quickly disillusioned because he realized that Stone really doesn't have any political power. He said, quote, "He thinks he does." Young also testified that it appeared as though the Oath Keepers founder had a direct line of communication to Trump. And there was some written evidence submitted, which seems to back this theory up. Young sent a message to Rhodes asking about the likely outcome on January 6th and, quote, Trump's dithering, to which Rhodes replied, quote, he is being advised to wait till the 6th in reliance of Congress. And, quote, I'm working to get him to see the other options and put them on the table. So how are you working to do that? So this is the second Oath Keeper to tie Rhodes directly to Trump. Young also admitted to taking 2 handguns with him to DC and also destroying evidence after the Capitol attack. But the defense may have landed a little bit of a blow to the case because they got Young under cross-examination to admit that there was no actual plan, no formal plan to enter the Capitol. Although I will say this, Young wasn't part of leadership in the Oath Keepers, and he was very new to the group. As I understand it, he joined after the election. So I would imagine the government's going to show that, you know, this guy wouldn't have been privy to details of a plan. And to his credit, Young told the jury that he believed there was an understanding among the Oath Keepers that Rhodes was calling for violent opposition against the transfer of power. He stated, quote, I felt like it was common sense. We talked about doing something about fraud in the election when we got there on the 6th. And when the crowds went over the barricades into the building, the opportunity presented itself to do something. And then he also said, quote, I participated in a conspiracy to obstruct Congress. We were going to disrupt Congress wherever they were meeting. And then the jury was also able to see a message from Rhodes, which read, quote, we are going to be in the lead of 1776.2. Young ended his time on the witness stand by basically holding back sobs. And he said, quote, I guess I was acting like a traitor, someone acting against my own government. And, quote, to repent and be forgiven, you have to confess completely and wholly. And then he also said, quote, I'm really sorry for what I did. I won't do anything like that ever again. It's really embarrassing. I think overall it's going horribly for the Oath Keepers. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. I'll let you know when I hear more. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.